As people are still joining in, we'll start shortly. Maybe we'll wait for a couple of more minutes. So good evening, friends. Welcome all. Before we start the main session, if anybody wants to introduce, they can just switch on their mic and camera and can come with introduction. And to just warm up the meeting, let me introduce myself. My name is Sunil Gupta. I am a chartered accountant and a cost accountant by profession. I am the founder of Prosperity Investors Hub, and I'm on a mission to mentor, young corporate professionals and entrepreneurs to lead a life of real prosperity by investing wisely. So today I am the host for this meeting, and before we start, I would look out for volunteers who wanted to introduce themselves. Just switch on your video and mic and have a quick intro. Anybody wants to start? Most welcome. Or maybe you can raise the hand. I can ask.
Hi, this is Hiren from Bangalore.
Yes, Hiren. If possible, switch on the video.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Quick intro, please.
Yeah, this is Hiren from Bangalore. So the subject is interesting, and that's the reason of me joining.
Very nice. Anybody else? She, Bhagwan Saluja, Ram Shankar, Nayan, Mohan. Anybody? It's a good occasion. Please introduce yourself so that we can have a fruitful meeting with, with our prominent speaker, which we have today. So it's 7:03, maybe another 2 minutes we'll start the session. In the meantime, if anybody wants to introduce, please introduce.
Sunil, can you tell me what is the subject, actual subject, what is you're going to discuss?
See, the title of the subject is basically Learn the Secret of Sales Strategy. I'll shortly introduce the speaker. So it's basically secrets of the sales strategy is the theme for today masterclass.
Okay.
So another 1 minute to go, then we'll start with the speaker introduction. In case any volunteer who want to introduce himself, yeah, he can introduce. Yeah.
Good evening, Bhagwan Saluja from Pune, Maharashtra.
Yeah. Okay.
मैं insurance consultant हूँ.
Welcome on board.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Good evening. This is Prashant here. I'm from Bangalore. I'm a digital marketing trainer and consultant.
Welcome, Prashant.
Thank you.
Vanya, good to see you. Can you introduce yourself? Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Nayan. I'm basically from Mumbai. I'm a parental coach and also writer of 3 bestseller books on parenting. Right now, I'm in UK, so my timing is and everything getting a bit disturbed. That's all about me.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Nayan. Welcome. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Yeah. Anybody else?
Need to introduce. Okay, Sanjay Thakur, ex-Air Force dietitian, founder of Thakur Naturopathy Hospital, Fellow of International Society for Noni Science, lifetime member of International Naturopathy Organization, and Reiki Grandmaster. So I'm into sales since last 15 years. And I want to know what this Dr. Sumit is going to say us. Let us learn. We are open-minded. And I am in HNH.
Welcome, Sanjay. Thank you for the introduction. I'll take one more introduction. If anybody is interested, then I'll introduce the speaker.
Yeah.
Sir, HNH full form.
Hi-Fi Networking Hub, where you have given this ad there. From there, we have got connected here.
Okay, thanks.
So good to see you, Vanya. Quick intro from you.
Yeah, long time, Sunil. Yeah.
Yes.
So hi, everyone. I am Vanya Grant, and I am a video conference coach from Chennai. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, welcome, Vanya. So let's start with the, today the theme of the topic or the workshop is, sales, secrets of the sales strategy. We have among us Dr. Sumit Sharma, who is a chemical engineer by profession, a gold medalist from Mumbai University with masters in management from USA, and a master trainer and doctorate in neuro-linguistic programming. Dr. Sumit has authored over 15 books, and he is Dean and founder of Utopia Learning and Development Academy in 1997. He is into corporate training since last 25 plus years on all aspects of management. He's also MD CEO of Isleworth Trade Links Limited, a large export house since 1955, and has a business experience of 45 years in marketing. And today he'll be sharing with us secrets of selling strategy. I think because sales is like, blood for the body, and it needs to run continuously. So I think everybody, whoever in any kind of business, sales is the core. So I think we have very prominent speaker among us. And over to Dr. Sumit.
So friends, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, Dr. Sumit, you can press F5, then you will have the PPT mode. Even if we can see, but we can see all the slides together. So just press F5.
Function 5.
Yeah.
Now it's okay?
Yeah, now it's fine.
So first of all, thank you, Sunil, for having given a wonderful introduction. And also I would like to thank Mr. Kushal Jain of Amplify for having given me this opportunity to be in front of you and share my personal experience in sales and marketing over several years. So today's topic has been chosen with a lot of thought because I think all of us are in either business or entrepreneurs or solo entrepreneurs, and all the time we are selling something. Either we are selling our products or our services or our ideas. Either way, we are selling things all the time. So I thought that I would share some of the secrets of sales which I have been used. Although Sunil has told most of myself, but I would like to little bit add here more. Apart from my other qualification, I'm also an ISO 9000 and 19011 lead author and a master black belt in Six Sigma. And I was awarded last year the brand icon of the year. And this year also I have been nominated for 2022 for the contribution to the food industry. Friends, I'm into basically manufacturing and exports of organic food and health and wellness products. Apart from that, I'm a member of BNI, Rotary International, NHRD, NIPM, FKCCI, American Chamber of Commerce. You can go to my personal site called drsumitcharma.com for more information. So today, friends, before I go into the topic, I would like to share a small story with you. And this story is about, there is a lumberjack competition in the US where once in a year, people from all over the country, they meet in Amazon forest, and there is a competition between them as to how many trees one person can cut, and the maximum trees who cuts, he gets an award. So like this story is about one person called Mr. Jack. Let us call him Jack. He was a world champion for more than 5 years, and nobody could beat him because he could cut almost 60 trees in about 6 hours, and he was a world champion for more than 5 years. Then this year, somebody challenged him and they said, let's call him John. So John said, okay, let me challenge you this year. I'm going to be the winner. So that fellow started laughing. He said, ha, 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 I'm the world champion for 5 years. How can anybody beat me? Let's see. So the competition started and they were almost a kilometer away. John was cutting on one side, Jack was cutting on one side. And that's how the competition started. And when the competition started, Jack could hear the John cutting with his axe. He could hear the sound of the axe touching the tree. But every hour he found that there was a gap of around 5-6 minutes every hour. And that's how he presumed that John is getting exhausted and he's taking rest for every 5 minutes. So he was overconfident that this year also he's going to be the world champion, because if he's taking rest for 5 minutes means he will not win the competition. But after the competition, the time was over. After 6 hours, the count was taken. As usual, Jack actually cut 60 trees, but John cut more than 75 trees. And that made Jack very upset. And he said, oh my God, this is not possible, because technically it is not possible, because this man was taking rest every 5 minutes. So for that, John reacted. He says, my dear friend, I was not taking rest every 5 minutes, every hour. At that time, I was sharpening my saw. I was sharpening my saw. So friends, whatever position we are in business and other things, at any point of time, we need to sharpen our saw of knowledge. The more we learn is the more we earn. So this part of the thing, today's talk is actually about sharpening our saw. Most of you may know most of the things, but every time you may get some hints by which it will improve your business and your sales. 21st century, friends, the paradigm shift is caveat emptor. This is in Latin, where the concept earlier was buyers beware. So I will take you a few decades back, around 80s, if you remember. Bajaj scooter, if you want to go and buy, Bajaj scooter used to say, come after 2 years, we have no stock, we are totally booked for next 2 years. So that time it was a literally buyer's market. But as the country economy improved and progress started happening, a lot of competition started coming in. And that's why the paradigm shift was caveat venditar, which means sellers beware. So it's no more a buyer's market, it is a seller's market. Friends, sales that's why the most feared profession. Most people, if they are given a choice, they will not take up the sales because they fear that they will not be able to achieve the results unless and until you learn the scientific way of doing things. That's what we are going to touch upon today. So let's look at the sales process. How does the sales process goes about? The sales process goes about prospecting and lead generation, then appointment fixing, telephonic or email discussions and introduction of your business, then finally personal meetings, presentation of your products and services, then finally giving the offer and quotation, commercial discussions, negotiations, and then finally closing. And here I want to stress, friends, even supply and after sales service is also part of the sales, because you may sell a product to the client, but if your after sales service is not okay, you will not get repeat business. The same client will not come back to you. And in today's competitive world, I think we cannot afford to lose any customer. Once a customer, always a customer should be our attitude and thought process. We're going to cover each of these in a slightly detailed way. Prospecting and lead generation. There are time-tested lead generation methods which are available on internet and social media, where you can collect a lot of data of people and then finally get in touch with them. There are also professional database collection companies which category-wise they give you the data. This data is quite extensive in the sense you will get the name of the person, the company's name, email ID, mobile number, everything which is, of course, this is at a cost. But it is quite good in the sense, like, let's say if your business has something to do with architects, you need to know lots of architects in, let us say, Bangalore or in Karnataka or in Delhi. So city-wise, state-wise, this category, this database can be shared with the people, and it is scrubbed. So it is, I should say, 90% genuine. And of course, after you use it, you will come to know. So these database will be helpful to you to target your customers rather than just doing a kind of a blind call or these things, So when your product is useful to a particular category of people, then it makes more sense in talking to them. They will show interest in your product, and they'll be more interested to talk to you and meet you personally. Of course, that has been a traditional method of SMS marketing, has always been there. And with this database, friends, today, WhatsApp marketing has become very, very famous. Telegram marketing is also catching up. Today, 90% of the business is being done on WhatsApp itself. So today you can make posters and send it to people. That is how most of you have joined this today's talk also, because by WhatsApp you got all the information and the link, and that's how you join. So WhatsApp has become extremely convenient, and it is quite effective also, because mobile is one thing which you don't leave from the time you get up in the morning till you go to sleep. Your mobile will be in your hand. So mobile is something, the whole world revolves around your mobile. Then we come to even scientific marketing with YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook business leads. These leads will also, some of these are quite effective. In fact, today, friends, Instagram has become even more powerful than Facebook, because there are a lot of influencers who are taking up marketing of your product and your services, and they talk about it. And when influencers and the celebrities talk about your product, people get interested. And there is a link below, like it takes you to your e-commerce site or to your other website. Like that, a lot of people are using Instagram, which has become very powerful nowadays. Similarly, there are professional organizations who help you to, put your business in all these social media so that you get the best of the results. Of course, there are also portals available like IndiaMart, Just Dial, Trade India, Exporters India, Alibaba. Alibaba is very effective if you want to go into export business. Friends, 90% of my business is export. So I'm using Alibaba, and I'm getting, in fact, worldwide, I'm getting very strong various companies, B2B, B2C kind of a thing. So you can establish your export business very well. Of course, it is expensive, but then the returns what you get is really justified. So prospecting and leads would be the first part of your challenge in the sales, and these are the hints I'm giving you, so that if now category of business depends on the category of business, which I can guide you when we open up for the question and answer sessions. The next challenge will come to you is for appointment fixing. Appointment fixing is an art if you want to meet customers personally. I'm sure all of you would have faced some difficult client who are so busy that they never give you an appointment. When you call them, they'll say, call me next week. When you call them next week, they say, Bhaiya, 10 din ke baad call karo. And then again, this goes on for months together, So one of the things you need to be aware that when you talk to people on the phone, you need to use a lot of persuasive language to get an appointment quickly. Here, friends, I want to teach you a technique right away. If you have a difficult client who never gives you an appointment, just tell him, sir, I would like to meet you personally just for 1 minute. What will you say? I want to have your appointment and just want to talk to you for 1 minute. This technique is a very effective technique. It looks very simple, but it is quite effective. Try it next time with your difficult client, and you see he will definitely give you an appointment, because you're saying, oh, only for 1 minute I want to meet you. So that's how these are the tricks and techniques which are available for, in sales, which one needs to use. It's a constant learning process, friends. You cannot never say that I know everything about sales, because, every day is a learning process. Every new customer is a learning process for you, and you need to learn and need to sharpen your saw all the time. Then we come to an effective telephonic and Zoom presentations. Nowadays, what has happened post-COVID, friends, you will agree that most of the people want to avoid personal meetings. But then what I would suggest, either you talk to them on a telephone or a WhatsApp call or a Zoom call, so that at least you can start the conversation with the people rather than just waiting for the meeting to happen. So at least a Zoom call can happen. They will understand you, you will understand them. And that's how at least the basic talks can. Now, if the customer finds your products or services interesting, definitely he will call you for personal. There's nothing like personally meeting face to face is the ultimate. But today, if you want to shorten your sales cycle, best I would suggest you to go for Zoom presentation as early as possible, but keep it short and sweet. Don't keep it for too long. Maximum half an hour or 45 minutes should be your duration for talking about your complete services, and talk what is relevant and don't unnecessarily talk things which are not connected to the subject. Very important, you need to create a curiosity in the client. If you create a curiosity in the client, some kind of a USP your business should have, so that he gets an urge to meet you. Like most of the people, they'll say, "Arey yaar, ye to hai, bahut se suppliers hain hamare paas. I don't think so. We need your services." That's what is going on in his mind. But you need to create a USP. You need to create one kind of an urge within him, so that he gets a push. He says, "Okay, theek hai, why don't you come down?" That kind of a thing. So appointment fixing is also an art, as I told you, but you need to be a little persistent. The more you persist, the more the more the results you will get. Not only getting the leads is important, friends, but you need to follow on the leads also. Most of the salespeople do one mistake. They talk to customers, they develop leads, but then what happens? They forget about them, and then they remember after a month or so. By the time the sales is already lost, So I tell people, fortune is in follow-ups. You need to do follow-ups very diligently, and you need to keep a track on a sales planning chart is there, where you need to follow up which clients. And this, suppose somebody tells you, "Okay, call me next Monday," then next Monday it should be in your diary. Nowadays, a lot of soft copies are available to do these kind of sales planning, so that will be helpful to you. Next, we come to face-to-face meeting. Once you meet the client personally, you need to develop a rapport instantly with the client. Now, let me just open up the flow for some discussion. Can somebody tell me what do you understand by rapport? You can unmute and say.
Basically, sir, building creating a relationship with the client.
Very good. What else?
Connect. So first impression.
First impression, as you said, Vikasji, is the last impression.
Building a happy connection.
Okay, I'm looking for one key word. Somebody tells me, I'll give you a prize.
Unconsciously, we have to connect with the client. Unconsciously.
Very good. For what? I'm giving you a hint. For what? Ultimately, what are you trying to achieve?
Mutual benefit.
Relationship.
Win-win situation.
Yeah. Very good. All your answers are correct. But the key word which I was looking for is to develop a trust in the client. The client should ultimately trust you as a person first, and then ultimately your company, because you are the front face of the company. Company is something abstract. Nobody knows your company. You may know, that's where your second part of the story starts. After the customer should like you as a person. If they like you as a person, then they will even think about doing any business with you. Let's say in the first meeting itself, it ends up in some kind of an argument, or you're trying to be one up with them, or he's trying to be one up with you. That way, somebody said win-win situation. It will not be win-win. It will be a win-lose or a lose-lose situation. So that's what you need to understand, friends. Rapport is required to basically develop the trust in the client, so that the client will be able to trust you for your future business. So you need to develop a rapport instantly with the client. And at this time, you need to carefully study the body language of the customer. Do you agree, friends? The body language is, almost 70% of your entire unconscious mind, where your unconscious mind controls your entire body language, where people, when somebody does like this, it means something to me. Somebody sits like this, it means something to me. Somebody does like this, it means something to me. So this knowledge of body language is also will be an asset to the salespeople. But 80% you can decode the customer, whether it will be whether he's going to really become a customer, whether he's going to really buy the products, because body never lies, friends. Your eyes and your body never lies. So when you study the body language of the person, at least you can make out that, okay, this guy is really getting interested in the product. So this part of the story, those who have learned body language, it's fine. And if you have not learned, I would urge you to learn it, because there are something like 25, 26 gestures men give, and there are more than 33 gestures women give. Women gestures are different than male gestures, and if you are a female client, you need to be more careful because her gestures you may not understand. But that is where the mastery of the subject is required, that when you study people's body language, you can literally decode them 80%. Then you need to give an impactful presentation. Why I'm using the word impactful? Because you have very little time to make an impression on the client. Somebody said first impression is the last impression. So when you give an impactful presentation, people will remember your products, they will remember your services, and the way you have presented it also makes sense, because you need to be very authoritative, very, very confident about what you are giving, what you're offering. Similarly, proper grooming etiquettes and mannerism. Friends, when you go and meet, especially senior people, they watch you like a hawk. What you're wearing, what is the kind of watch you're wearing, what is the kind of bag you're carrying, what is the kind of laptop you're having. They watch you like everything. What is your status and what? So when you groom yourself, you need to groom in such a way that your grooming should tell everything about you. It is something like invisible talk which you're doing. You don't have to tell that, okay, I am at this position. People will understand automatically. Similarly, etiquettes and mannerisms, like even opening the door. When you open the door of a senior executive or a CEO of a company, do not sit till the person tells you to sit. If you sit before that, it is considered as bad manners. Do not shake hands with people unless and until they offer that shake hand, especially if it's a lady customer. So these are the etiquettes and manners which makes a lot of difference in this thing. Especially, friends, I'm in export business and I do business with more than 30 countries. When I started my business 14 years back in exports, I was so careful. Like I used to study countries' culture. Like if I'm going to Germany, then their culture is different. If I'm going to US, that culture is different. If I'm going to Japan, their culture is different. So I used to, in fact, I have a whole lot of travel books with me where in this it is written very clearly what you should be careful, what you should not be careful about these things. So like that, etiquettes and manners also make sense. Similarly, to understand client's perception. Now, again, I will ask everybody to please speak. What do you understand by perception? Or I'll ask you a question. Do you see things or do you perceive things? Kindly unmute and answer my question.
We see something and then we make an understanding.
Okay. So do you actually see things or do you actually perceive things?
We perceive the things based on our understanding.
Very good. So don't you agree that human beings are basically locked up in perception? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why somebody said, please unmute those of you who have a background sound. Please mute yourself. Okay. So as I was saying that we do not see things, we perceive things. And because we perceive things, somebody said very wisely, the perceiver pollutes the perception of what is being perceived. So every human being is different. You are neither above anybody, neither you are below anybody, neither are you equal to anybody. So all of us are unique souls come to play our own role on this Mother Earth. So that's why each one of us have our own perceptions. Now, when you're meeting the client personally, you need to understand the client's perception. For that, you need to have a proper questioning process with the person. Now, I'll give you a very good example here. You'll understand what I'm trying to say. Let's say you go to a mobile shop and you want to buy a new mobile, you want to change your mobile, you're fed up of it, So let's say you go to a shop and say, "Bhaiya, ek mobile phone dikhao." Now that guy, what he does, he brings out about 12-15 types of mobiles and he puts it in front of you and he says, "Saab, isme se select kar lo." Tell me frankly, friends, will you be able to buy if he puts 12-15 mobiles in front of you?
No.
No.
Why?
We get confused.
We get
confused.
Very
Too many
good.
options.
Too many options. Good. What else? What will happen?
We don't know about the product. What is what?
That's true. So here, if he's a clever salesman and if he has gone through a proper training program, then what he will do is that he will first ask certain questions to the customer. He'll say, sir, what kind of a phone are you looking for? Are you looking for a business phone or are you looking for a personal phone? You know, earlier you remember BlackBerry and all those things where there's a BlackBerry was a purely business phone, but then now Androids have come, so Androids have merged both the things together. I'm just giving an example for you to understand what I mean by perception. He says, sir, what is the kind of phone are you looking for? Is there any brand preference you are having, sir? What is your particular budget if you have? Are you looking for a particular phone? What kind of features are you looking for? So if he asks some 7-8 questions, don't you think he will get what we call as the map of reality? In NLP, we call it as map of reality or the perception of the client. You know? So once he understands the perception of the client, instead of giving him 12, 15 phones, he just shows you 2, 3 phones. Don't you think you will be able to take a decision? Yes or no? Will you be able to take a decision now when he shows you only 2, 3 phones, which is, to your requirement?
Easier for us to take the decision.
Exactly. So you will, it'll be easier for you to take a decision on this kind of a thing. So it's very important, friends, that you just don't go and do a sales presentation. Most of the sales people, what they do, they have an AK-47 approach. AK-47 approach is just they go, sir, my company is this thing, my product is this thing, my this specification, so and so, and they finish out. It goes as a googly in front of the client, and client is not able to follow, understand anything, and it will be just a waste of time for you to go in there. If at all you are going for a sales meeting, a personal meeting, it should be bullseye. There is no 2 ways about it. You need to understand the client's requirement. You need to do a little bit of research also before that. Like before meeting the client, it is preferable that you go and study their social media. You please study their website. What are they doing? What is their kind of business they are doing? So with that, there's something called a sales funnel. You will be able to focus exactly on what the client's requirement is, and then it will be bullseye. 90% you will be able to close the sales with them, and this is how you will be able to build a long-term relationship with the client, because clients select those suppliers who understand their needs. Clients hate people who just come and do sales talk. Nobody is interested in your sales talk, and most of them don't get impressed with sales talk. But what they are impressed is by you understanding their needs. If you understand their needs, they will cooperate with you. Similarly, after this understanding their needs, what will you do? You'll give a commercial offer. And once you have understood the client's requirements, you need to give a competitive offer in tune with the client's budget. Now, here also something very important I want to share with you. It needs to be with the client's budget. Now, since I'm in the export business, I'll give my example so it makes sense to you. Like, see, for example, a lot of people call me from abroad, or they contact us on email and they say, sir, we want organic basmati rice and other things like that. And this is our specifications, and they will just give some vague specifications. So I immediately reply back that please give us a detailed specification of what exactly you are looking for. What is the moisture content? What is the humidity? What is the length of the basmati rice? And what are you looking for? 1121, 112 Sela, or brown rice? Exactly. I want the specifications very correctly. And last but not the least, if this is the specification, then what is your target price? There is no harm in asking this question, friends. If the customer is genuine, I'm repeating this word, if the customer is genuine, he will say, yes, I'm looking for organic rice within this range. Are you able to offer me? So then I know exactly the perception of the client and what is he looking for. Let us say if he says, okay, I'm looking for basmati rice around 100 rupees, then I know what to quote to him. So I'm not going to quote to him 120, 130, because then I'll not get the business. But if I quote to him around that much price, or maybe 1 or 2 rupees less, the deal can be clicked in. So you also need to understand the client's budget and ask frankly this question, okay, what is your budget and what kind of a thing you do? So most of the genuine clients will share this information with you. Then handle questions effectively. Very, very important, friends. When you give your offer, when you give your commercial terms, the customer is definitely going to ask you questions. And you should be able to reply to those questions very effectively. Generally, what happens is when this kind of a meeting happens after giving the commercial offer, somebody senior or the main owner of the company only should go. Because if you send somebody junior, they will not be able to answer the nuances, the critical questions which the customer will ask. And if you are not able to answer customers' questions, the sales is lost. You can be rest assured it will be gone. And handle objections also effectively. A lot of people, those who are in business and sales, they get irritated. Arey yaar, customer is asking so many questions. Customer is giving so many objections. But friends, remember my words. If the person asks you more questions and if the person has more objections, that means he's actually interested to do business with you. So don't get irritated. Be very calm. Be very, very focused on what he's asking. If you're able to answer all his questions and able to handle all the objections, then your sale is done. The most favorite objection will be, oh, your price is too high. So there are ways to handle this thing. One has to, as I told you, develop a lot of skills and understand how to handle these things of the customer. Sometimes some customers will be having a negative behavior. When I say negative behavior, they may be biased towards some suppliers. It always happens in government organizations, where for the heck of it, they will take 2-3 quotations and actually they've already made up their mind who to give the business, because there's something called as adjustment between them. And because of that, they will just call you for a formality and record, Bhaiya, I have called you for a discussion. So normally, see, please understand that people do not behave the way they behave just like that. There is a root cause analysis what we need to do in sales. That if the person is doing a negative behavior, then why is he doing? कोई दुश्मनी तो है नहीं ना आपके साथ. He is meeting you for the first time. Why he should behave in that way? So you need to deeply analyze that. Why is he actually behaving like that? I have faced many people like that, especially in government organization. They say, "Nahi, sir, hum this thing hai," and they're just least interested to even talk to you. At that time, do not be aggressive, do not be this thing, but be assertive and just try to understand and revolve your strategy around it. There is a solution for everything. If you think that, then through some other sources you can find out who are the competitors who have quoted for it, who are this thing. If that one person is negative, doesn't mean the whole company will be negative. There are other people in the organization who you can make friends with, and that is how you can get your business through, because who are the other people who have quoted. See, it's very important to have database and information with you. That will only help you to get the sales closed. Then of course the art of negotiation. Negotiation will be only for two things. One will be for the price and other will be for the payment terms. Now here again, I want to open a question for the floor. Can anybody tell me what is the difference between cost and price? What is the difference between cost and price?
Cost is something which is required to make that product.
Okay.
Whereas price is what we want to sell.
Okay. Anybody else? I'm looking for a better answer. Ram Shankarji, I think you can answer this question.
I thought it is the same. So whatever he mentioned just now.
That's what people think actually.
Yeah.
People think that cost and price is the same thing. One more try. One more person.
With keeping your margin, probably, if I want to add.
Price is only the product cost. Okay. But there involves some more cost, emotional cost. It also involves the logistics cost, where the customer has to come to the seller and pick the product. So fundamentally, it is the emotional cost which has to be considered.
Good. Anyway, good feedback you have given. But here I want to clarify certain things. I think price to all of us know. Let's say any product will have an MRP, maximum retail price. I'm just taking an example. Will have a price. So that is the price which you are going to pay from your pocket to buy a product and other things like that. But the word cost is something which you will pay over a period of time. Here I'll give you an example and then it will make sense to you. Let us say you buy a car and you want to buy a new car, and the new car, maybe it's costing, example, one of the cars is costing say about 7.5 or 8 lakhs. And so that's the cost of the car, and the specifications, everything. Now there is another equivalent car which is available, slightly cheaper price, maybe 1 or 2 lakhs cheaper, 5-6 lakhs only compared to 8.5 lakhs. But the problem with this cheaper car is that its petrol efficiency is not that good as the other one. The other one, the mileage is good, the maintenance is less. You don't have to frequently go for this. Company is giving you AMC 3 years free, something like that. So the price, what the money you pay over a period of time for going for a cheaper product or a cheaper car is the cost to you. Whereas the price is something which you pay one time, but the cost is what you pay over a period of time. So normally my favorite question to the customers, people will say, oh, your price is too high. I say, are you talking about price or are you talking about the cost? Or are you worried about the cost? So customers normally get confused. They say, I say, yes, the cost what you're going to pay over a period of time is going to be much more than what you're going to pay if you go for a cheaper product. So that's the meaning of where that will be where you will be stuck, will be for the price part of it, and the second will be the payment terms. Normally what I do is that whenever we quote for tenders and other things, but here friends, I request you all to do your homework very well. You need to go finally with what kind of discounts you can offer on your price quotation, what you have given, whether you can give 2% discount or a 5% discount or whatever. You should do your homework very well. It should not happen that under the stress there, there are some customers who will put you into so much stress that they will make you give a discount, and finally when you come back home to your office and you find that actually you have booked the business in a loss. So that should not happen. If you do not do your homework well, this is where the problem is. So you need to go and you should be mentally ready with what is the last price which you can offer to the customer, and below that you can even refuse the order, you can refuse the business. There's no point in doing a business in loss, otherwise it is operation very successful but patient dead. I don't think so anybody wants that. So this is negotiation is a very, very important aspect of the business. And immediately after the negotiation is over, friends, do not give time to the customer. Immediately close the business. What is the meaning of closing the business? Because if you don't close the business, then the entire exercise what you have done from day one of prospecting and finally meeting the client and doing the businesses, that it will lead into somebody else getting the business. Like you have done all the effort, but somebody else will get the business, because clients love to be educated. They want, if they are new to the business, they will love to get educated from you. So you have done all the donkey's work, but actually somebody else is getting the benefit. So closing the sale means what? Normally what I do when I meet with the client, I have finalized the price, I have finalized the discount, payment term, data. I immediately ask them for a letter of intent. I say, sir, if you do not mind, just give me a 4-line letter. Please ask your secretary to come and dictate the letter. Nowadays, even letter is not required, even email, official email ID saves, some people send it. So I immediately take an email, sir, we, as per our discussion, we have agreed for this and this price and other thing. You can tentatively go ahead with the business, and the official purchase order will be released in a few days, because some big companies, if you go, they'll have a procedure of going to, the purchase department, intent department, all the formalities, So close it immediately by asking something in writing. Don't go for verbal, because what happens is your next competitor will come, will confuse him, and that fellow will, delay further finalization of the business. So that's where my suggestion is to close the business immediately once you have finalized everything. Then we come to the supply chain management. As I told you, supply chain is also part of the sales process, because something goes wrong in supplying the product, quality control, then again you will get a bad name. Please remember, friends, some of you may have different departments of this, like you are only in charge of sales or maybe a business, but there's somebody else looking after logistics, somebody else is looking after quality control. But remember, friends, you are the front face. Because you are the front face, customer will catch you only. They are not bothered about anybody. They say, I don't know, I know only Dr. Sharma. So that's why, friends, when I do the sales, I'm doing marketing, but I'm coordinating with all my departments, all my factories. I am coordinating, and I'm one mouthpiece, so that the customer gets to deal with only one person. If one person handles, then there is a continuity of things, and the same customer becomes a repeat customer. They'll say, wow, what kind of a service they are giving. Because what happens is today, friends, when you have finalized the business and you give to some of your any junior executive who will come, maybe work with you for some time, again he will leave, and then again new person you have to join. So the continuity is broken, and and the business is also broken. The customer starts going everywhere. Friends, in so many years of my business, today I am 45 years in business, and fortunately I have been in sales and marketing for so many years. I have never lost a client, friends. I have never lost a client. I give so much of personal attention to the customer by talking to them repeatedly. अभी क्या होता है, some of the sales people ना business मिल गया, payment मिल गई, execute हो गया, सब कुछ हो गया. They don't even do a courtesy call. They don't even get back to the client, sir, kaise ho? So, I wait for an opportunity for somebody's birthday or maybe Diwali, Dashara, this thing to come. एक बहाना मिल जाता है बात करने का. Sir, आप कैसे हैं? How are you? That kind of a thing. That makes a tremendous impact on the customer, and more than business, it becomes a kind of a personal friendship. See, friends, relationships are those shares which when you invest, it will give you dividends lifelong. A good customer will give you dividends lifelong, and you must never lose a customer, because somebody said very wisely, Sunilji said that, sales is your bloodline. The rest of all the departments are a liability only. Nothing gives you income, only the sales department gives you income. So customer is like God, Atithi Devo Bhava, customer Devo Bhava. So it's very, very important that you treat your customers like gods, because they are the ones who give you food. So unko naraj mat karo. You argue, but you argue with a purpose in mind. Don't do Vidandavada, do Samvada, do argument with understanding. So once order is finalized, then you need to take care of supply and logistics by coordinating. Quality control, very important. Admin and billing aspects also. Aajkal, friends, all of you know, the GST has become a very big issue. So, there are, eBay bills to be created, and if anything goes wrong in that, will again damage your reputation with the customer. They need one small thing to pick up with you. So you need to understand that everything needs to be very perfect. These are critical things which should be in the hands of critical people only. Like in my case, my whole entire family is involved in this. So I am fortunate because, my son looks after logistics and quality control. So I'm rest assured that nothing will go wrong. And of course, train them and ensure that they deliver the goods as per the requirements of the client. Installation and after sales, suppose you are into any equipment sales and other things, installation after sales is also very important. It's not that you have just supplied and installation is happening after 6 months. Again, you lose your name. Similarly, AMC, annual maintenance contract, and CRM chart. Like some of the businesses demand that every 3 months, 4 months, you need to go for inspection, check up what is happening, how the product or your service is working. So you need to have a CRM chart, so that customer resource management chart, so that you're able to keep a track of your customers. Then only, friends, once a customer will always be a customer. Let's look at Sunilji, how much time I have. I have not tracked myself.
Yeah, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes, 5 minutes for question answer. Okay, good. So we'll quickly go through this. So there are other types of marketing techniques also to boost your sales. There is something called as affiliate marketing, symbiotic marketing. Here, I'll just give you an example. Like, let's say somebody, like I'm tied up with a lot of healthcare companies that they are having a healthcare app, or they're having some healthcare machines. So I have a lot of products which have to be taken for controlling, keeping your overall wellness in mind. For example, we have a lot of, capsules for weight loss and for diabetic control. So we are tied up with a lot of weight loss companies by which they recommend our product, and that's how we increase our sales. And similarly, referral marketing. Referral marketing is what we actually do in BNI, where we refer people, and that's how we have to take over. So referral marketing is also a very powerful marketing, because if you are satisfied with the product, the customer is satisfied. If he refers you to 2-3 customers, those people, without any question, they will give the business to you. Similarly, what is becoming very famous nowadays is direct to consumer. People are using e-commerce sites, and they are selling their products directly to customers. They are promoting it on the various social media. So D2C has become a very big business nowadays. Similarly, social media marketing, which we already discussed. Then there's something called as OEM marketing. OEMs are the people, like they are the bulk buyers. For example, we make certain spray dried powders, which is used in the food industry as a raw material. Like Britannia and ITC is our customer, where they use our spray dried powders to make their lay wafers, as well as they use it for Britannia buys this caramel chocolate from us, and ITC buys the spray dried powders from us. So they are very big buyers. They are bulk buyers. So they are called OEM clients. So depending upon your business, Devnyata, you can Also do OEM marketing by, of course, they are very difficult customers because you need to have a very high quality levels to even approach them. Similarly, we have government organizations marketing, like today, I think some of you may know, if your products and services go to government organization, there's something called a GEM portals, and if you register yourself on GEM portals, you will get a lot of inquiries from government organizations, and the price is already declared, so your chances of getting business is almost 90%. Brand promotion techniques, similarly, quality certification also helps your sales. Let us say if your company is ISO 9000 certified, and if it is 19011 certified, it gives a kind of a leverage to your product, because then customers start believing you, oh, you're a 9000 company, you're an ISO company. So like that, it adds to your profile. So you don't have to tell anything. Once you say I'm an ISO 9000 company, people will automatically accept what you are. And also membership of professional bodies like APIDA, if you're in chemical business, Chemexil. Legal aspects of the business also helps your business if you are having a powerful brand name or your logos, MSME registration, Startup India registration, Stand Up India. These organization friends are helping in funding also. I'll give an example like Stand Up India is specifically for women entrepreneurs. Women entrepreneurs can avail loan up to 2 crores without any collateral. Unfortunately, these organizations are not marketing themselves well. So the general public does not even know what are the facilities available. Even Startup India, you can get almost anything between 25 lakhs up to 2 crores without any collateral, if your project is good. So next challenge which comes for business, if you're starting a business, is the funding. So we give an overall solutions to people. So if you're able to give a solution, people will be able to come to you for business. So friends, I hope I have given enough information on what are these things. Now, before I open up for my question and answers, I just want to share one thing. On coming this month, we are having a workshop for the same topic, 19th, 20th, and 21st, 5 o'clock to 7:30, where whatever we discussed today, the entire aspect will be discussed in detail. It will be almost a 3 hours workshop every day. So it will be for 3 days, where a lot of techniques are going to be taught to you. Today in 45 minutes, it is impossible for me to, because each topic is very, very detailed and you need to have a thorough understanding of things. There are a lot of freebies being given worth 5,000 rupees, including my my book. As you can see here, friends, this is my latest book. This will be given to you free of cost. And of course, if you are having a company where you have 5-6 people or sales working with you, then we give a corporate discount of 5 to 10%. This will be shared to you. My request to all of you is please join this WhatsApp group of Amplify, which I will just put it on chat for you so that you are able to join it by just clicking on the link, and based on that, so you can take it forward by Kushalji, can you just share the link on the chat, sir, so that people
we have shared it. We have shared.
Okay. So I open up the floor for questions so that you can specifically ask me questions or whatever we have covered today.
So thank you, Dr. Sumit. I think it was a very good session. A lot of insights about sales. I think you covered all the aspects and varieties of, sales. Of course, there's still a lot more to, like deep dive, but I think you touched upon all the aspects. Very, very insightful. The house is open for, the question and answer. I think you have good opportunity. If you have any, quick questions, which Dr. Sumit can clarify. Otherwise, you can, join in his next workshop and webinar. Just raise your hand, or maybe just, unmute and
Dr.
ask the question.
Sanjay Thakur, I want to ask you how we have to close sales in network marketing, where a lot of products are there and people are very afraid of buying that. So how to close, how to crack?
Well, you see, the sales principle will follow everywhere in whatever business you are, friends. In fact, just for your information, sir, I have a very wide exposure to network marketing companies. I was part of it for more than 5-6 years. I'm talking of early 2000. And now my company manufactures a lot of products for direct marketing companies. As you rightly said, here we are dealing with so many people and so many perceptions will be there, and they will have, a lot of them will have success stories, a lot of them will have failures also. So one of the blocks which people who are from network marketing is that, अरे यार मैं वो company join किया था, वो मैंने पैसा lose कर दिया, वो company बंद हो गई, the things like that, and they will come with a negative attitude to you. You understand that, so that is where, friends, the hint I have given you, it is very important for you to go by that sales process what I have guided you. When you do the workshop, your specific case will be taken up by me, and I will guide you through what exactly you should do and where you're going wrong. I will ask you to do a presentation to me, and I will correct that presentation कि आप कहाँ गलती कर रहे हो, based on that. So you need to form a rapport with the people. You need to gain the confidence of the customer, because see, network marketing has got overall a bad name over a period of years. But now, friends, remember one thing, Modi government has regulated this industry very well, and today it is not so easy to start a network marketing company. Also, you need to deposit a particular amount, 1 to 2 crores with Government of India, so that people do not just cheat and run away. That kind of a thing was happening earlier. So that all those past is all over. So you need to see, whatever industry you work in, you need to master that industry, friends. ऐसा casual काम नहीं चलता है, that way. Of course, I being in the industry for long, I can definitely guide you more in these things. Yeah, I hope I have answered your question, sir.
Yes, sir. इसमें हमने कमाया, I have done so a very good thing, and 3 lakh plus per month I have earned. Now I have opened one hospital due to this capital. Okay. So now marketing of a hospital and network marketing, both different thing or same strategy we can apply here?
Sir, the strategy what I have given you applies to every industry, as long as you are following the process, whether it is a product or whether it is services or whether it is anything. You just follow that sales process, that is more than sufficient for you to click the deal. But of course, what I have given you is only, it is just a soup of a soup of a soup of a soup. What you need to learn is little bit more, because you need to basically understand the theory, but with techniques. If you, for Rapport, for example, I told you to form Rapport, there are at least 3 techniques I'm going to teach you in the workshop, where you learn how to form Rapport with people instantly. But see, people should start liking you as a person. People should love you first. When they like you first, then only they'll do business with others. Nobody does business with anybody. Or next question.
Okay, please. Thank you, Dr. Sharma ji. Thank you so much.
Sir, being new in market, how to build the rapport in front of the customer? Because the customer will not believe you as you are the new.
What is your product, Vikasji? Can you just give me a little idea? I'll guide you further.
Sir, we are also in export, and we are doing the spices, ginger. So what is happening, sir? We have dealt with many customers, but they are like, you are the new, what are, how many before deal you have done, but we have not done a single export. So how to bring the trust?
Dekhiye, sir, if you are into export, or see, I'm also into a similar business. Basically, we are not into ginger, but we are into the other food related products. Normally, how I handle it, the first step for anything is that you need to first give samples to the client. If you give samples to the client along with test reports, COAs, all these things you need to furnish to the client. Once he likes your samples, but see, you have to filter your customers very well. You see, there are a lot of in between middle people who are sitting abroad, whose job is to collect samples from 100 companies and use it themselves, but they don't give you 1 rupee business also. So I avoid these kind of people. I go directly to the customer and I say, and for that, for exports, I can guide you a lot, because I'm in this industry for more than 15 years. And here you get a database of exporters and importers all over the world, where port-wise you can get a database, so that your sales is more this thing. So whether you're new or whether you're old, that doesn't matter. Ultimately, the quality of your product should be good. See, if I look at ginger powder, if I look at this thing, by the smell of it, by looking at the texture of it, I can make out what is the quality of it. अगर आपका product अच्छा है, तो sir, you don't worry about the business. Business will come to you. There are one set of people who like to help startups like you only. It's not necessary that you have to be a very old company. I also faced the same problem when I started the business. It was the same thing. But then every meeting is a kind of a, I can say a learning process. It's a learning process. You need to learn from every client, but do not do random sales. It should be very bullseye kind of a thing you should do.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
So next, Fatima has raised the hand. I think Fatima, your question, please.
Hello.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਨਮਸਤੇ ਜੀ.
Hello, sir. So my question is that I am into a service industry. I am a chartered accountant.
Very good.
So if I want to explore a new area in the same service industry, like right now I'm into income tax return filings. Okay.
Right.
But now I want to go for the concurrent audit or audit type. So mainly I will not have a complete knowledge about audit, that how it is going to be. I have little bit of knowledge, but not complete knowledge. So how can I, go and how can I crack a customer in that case?
Okay, good question. Here, ma'am, normally what people do when you are a chartered accountant or auditing company, it's not one man's job. It has to be a team of people. You can't just one person. You are a CA. Okay, you're good in accounting. You're good in the account part of it, and the tally part of it, But you need to have somebody senior with you. He need not be full-time employed by you, but he can be just like your associate kind of a thing. That's why normally people give names like KP Ghosh and associates. Why? Because there are so many people contributing to that. It is not just one man's job. See, today, friends, I'm running a public limited company. Now, I cannot give my book of accounts to somebody who's a juvenile. I will definitely go and check what is their team. Is that person is he a company secretary, or is he a certified auditor, or what is he? I would like to know the details. I cannot give my book of account just like that. तो आपको एक टीम बनाना पड़ेगा मैडम, पहले बना के then you approach. For you, because you are not allowed to advertise, you cannot advertise I am a chartered accountant, I am doing da. ये नहीं कर सकते हो आप legally speaking. For you, best thing is LinkedIn marketing. LinkedIn का अगर आप commercial क्या बोलते हैं, there is a fees there you have to pay every month, 3,000 or 3,500. If you go for that, you will get solid leads where you can directly talk to the CEO of the company or the CTO of the company, CXO of the company, who are the decision makers. They are decision. If you just send your profile, कि भाई हम लोग डाटा ये करते हैं, and you can be in touch with the startups, because startups are the people who will actually need your services.
Yeah, correct.
Right, from GST registration to company registration, सब कुछ उनको लगता है. So when you're a part of Startup India, or if you're part of MSME, then you get a lot of leads for these things. That's how you can generate a minimum business of 50,000 to 1 lakh per customer. I'm talking of 1 lakh to 1 minimum बोल रहा हूँ, ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है depending upon the scope of work. I'm not an expert on that, but friends, since I have so many years of business experience, I can afford to guide you in all aspects. Next question, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other person before we wrap up the session? So Dr. Sumit, maybe I'll also have a quick question from you.
Yes, sir, I'll be glad,
being a
sir.
finance guy, marketing was the last thing on our mind, because I am also a chartered accountant and a cost accountant. We are into core finance, backend support, core management function. But marketing was something which is like, the last thing in our mind, right? But last few years, I have left my core, function, and I'm into like training and coaching business. So like marketing is something which is the top priority now. So as a non-marketing person, what are the initial buttons to be pushed? Like from where to start? How to be comfortable in the marketing as a newbie?
So what is the domain you want to, basically training and coaching is what you want?
I am into training and coaching, and primarily into money management skills and investing skills, basically.
Very
mutual funds, stock market, and those.
They
kind
are
of stuff.
both different domains. When you're talking of training and coaching, I would suggest you to to develop very good relationship with corporate companies, because they are the ones who will give you very big business. And the best way to get in touch with the corporates is to have a very powerful LinkedIn profile, sir. Like most of the leads, friends, I get from LinkedIn, and they are genuine leads. There is a big difference between Facebook leads and LinkedIn leads. LinkedIn, आपको कोई contact करेगा तो मतलब आप you take it rest assured he is. I'm not saying Facebook is bogus, but Facebook में क्या है, बहुत जनता आती है इसमें, mass comes in that, whereas here, you know, it is more mass people, person who is a director of the company, is a executive director of the company. He is not going to talk nonsense, and he doesn't have the kind of time to chit chat, आप कैसे हो, क्या है, खाना खाया नहीं है, so वो बात भी नहीं करेगा उतना, and you should never talk with them also. You should be very, very professional, you know. So there, if you share your profile, and there's a lot of methods you can do with this. Yeah, so you know, you can definitely, if you are really looking for LinkedIn marketing, I can put you on to somebody who's very, very good at that, has been handling my account. And to be frank with you, you know, we are doing a very good job. So that is one aspect of the story as far as your training and coaching is concerned. CXO, CTOs, CEO trainings are very big money makers, very big money makers. They pay you anything between 1.5 lakhs to 5.5 lakhs per annum. They pay you, sir, per person. I do that training. That's why I get paid.
Okay, very nice.
Not
Very
being
nice.
exuberant, but that's a fact, sir. That's the thing, you know. So there are big companies because उनको डॉलर का हिसाब होता है, तो उनको रुपीस में कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है.
Right.
एक हो गया. As coming to your investing for your क्या बोलते हैं आपका DMAT, BSc, NSc, and other things like that. Of course, here what will be most effective will be the referral marketing, sir. Because इसमें आप जनता में जाओगे ना, हर आदमी बोलेगा सुनील जी आप कब भागने वाले हो हमारे पैसे के साथ. Sorry to say that.
Right.
Isn't it? You know, people will have a negative attitude.
Right.
Just because you have not been to Mount Everest doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It does exist. I have my friends. I am personally also into share marketing and other things like that. I don't want to reveal, but there is a very big money in that as long as you do it scientifically. You know?
Right.
बट हम किसी से बात करें ना, नहीं यार मैंने तो यार पहले 5 लाख रुपए डाला था 5 साल पहले, मैंने तो पूरा डूब गया पैसा, तो मैं क्या करूं? My fault. You tell me, sir, is it my fault? So people are locked up in their past. When they are locked up in their past, it is very difficult to, of course, there are techniques in NLP where we can remove people from the past and bring them to the present and take them to the future. वो दूसरी बात है. You have to develop skills to do that. मैंने master किया है. I have mastered these techniques, you know, so that we remove them from their negative posture to a very positive posture. They say, अच्छा ठीक है, छोटे से चालू करो, 50,000 से शुरू करो, 1 लाख से शुरू करो. So you know, that way, so their referral marketing will work very well, sir. आपके satisfied customer को बोलो कि भाई देखो उसको भी कुछ दे दो, एक motivation दे दो, भैया if you get one client I will give you this much extra or one time or maybe monthly, जो भी आपका. I don't know your business model well, but I'm just giving a small advice.
Right. I think very good insights. I think you understand the core, you know, behind this segment also. Yeah. So thank you very much.
You talk to me later, sir. I can.
Yeah. Sure. I'll be in touch. Yeah.
Last
so
question.
Any other question?
Last question. इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई? मेरे से डर लग रहा है आपको.
So I think we are at the end of the session. Kushal ji, you have anything to add before we, you know, close, or you have any announcement to be done?
Yeah. विकास जी, आपके कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है? विकास अग्रवाल जी.
Please go ahead, sir.
So over to Kushal ji now.
Kushal ji, you can take over, sir.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. And it was awesome session by Dr. Sumit Sharma. And also I recommend every one of you to keep sharing with your friends. Every Friday, 7 p.m. we are going to be having different speakers coming in, sharing their knowledge. And as you have heard from Dr. Sumit Sharma, I recommend you to also join his WhatsApp group so that he can also share your gifts. Ebook he had prepared, which he want to share with all the participants who have joined. So I recommend you to join the WhatsApp group, and also he will be sharing the workshop events upcoming. Okay, and all these recordings also would be shared. Okay, but it is better to be live. Okay, because when you are live, you can interact and you can grasp more knowledge. So I recommend you to be live every Friday, 7 p.m. So that's it. I'll hand over again to Sunil to close the meeting. And thank you, Dr. Sumit Sharma, again for your amazing session. Thank you.
Thank you, Kushal ji, for giving me this opportunity.
So thank you, Dr. Sumit. I think it was very good session, and I think we'll be in touch, and people will have, they already had great insights. And I request again, in case anybody is interested, join his, next workshop for much more detailed, insights. And let's close the session. Thank you very much.
This is a repeat workshop, sir. It is by public demand. We have conducted 5 workshops earlier, and we had a very, very good participation. And in fact, there is a big networking which happens. Like, I know you today through the session. So
Right,
बीच में काफी business हो गया है. So people thanked me for that. And there's a big business which was generated because of that. And also a lot of people have, confirmed that their business has increased by 30 to 40% after attending the workshop. So it is for
Very
serious
nice.
people who want, see, business एक ऐसी चीज है, nobody gives you salary. You have to generate your own funds.
Right.
Chalo, thank you very much. God bless
Thank
you.
you, and
Look
thank you
forward
all
to
the
more
audience for
meetings
their,
and
active participation. I think it was good, participation by all. Thank you very much, and I am just closing the session now. Thank you.
Chalo, thank you very much, sir.